Hi, I'm Lonnie.
I mean,
Ooh, holy crap. We are Untitled. Our sixth episode review, WandaVision, all new Halloween Spooktacular. 37 minutes, so this one was 4 minutes shorter than last week, which ended a trend of consecutively longer episodes.
okay, but like this one was packed. I felt like so much stuff happened in this episode. I really felt like, not in a bad way, just a lot of stuff happened, and it felt like we watched it for about 45 minutes.
It was Halloween is happening in Westview, and the main thing here was like the costumes. Everybody's in like their 1990s Marvel
I
costumes.
fucking loved it.
Even Quicksilver had his hair done up like that and had his like blue
Yeah,
lightning
he
bolt.
was just like, I got my costume, and here it was.
Yeah.
And we really learned in this episode that Wanda's not sure how he even got there.
Yeah.
We thought she just, searched for him, and I don't think she was searching for him, and that's what he heard. That, he got shot, and then he heard her calling for him. And I don't even think he was really calling out to say, grieving, and followed.
Her I'm starting to evolve my theories as to what's going on. And I think that is probably one of the first, if not the first. Okay, so basically
I'm listening.
we've got. I know I'm trying to
Getting your
put this
thoughts
together.
together, yeah.
We have the multiverse, okay?
Right.
So we've got, like, let's say for example, have the movie universe, have the Fox universe where he came from,
Yes.
and like let's say we have the comic book.
Right.
It's all three different things. And let's say that, okay, Quicksilver died in the MCU, like he did.
Yeah.
Well, she has used her reality powers on a smaller scale to combine the two Quicksilvers.
Right.
So basically, she pulled him, but gave him the memories.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Because there's some stuff he's talking about, or that she's talking about, and they don't know what the other one's talking about.
But you've got it. It's almost like you get some of this Quicksilver, some of this Quicksilver, and mix them together.
Mm-hmm.
You eliminate both of them to create a new one, and I think that's what she's done. I think that I think that if this does lead to the what's going to happen is this is going to lead to the multiverse. Well, the multiverse isn't going to be a thing forever. They're going to have to wrap that up.
Oh, yeah.
And what's going to happen is all the different multiverses, through some magic or something, is going to come together, and it's going to be a mix of everything.
Okay.
You're going to have a lot new. That's how they're going to explain the new actors, because they're going to be like, oh, this wasn't the X-Men from this universe or that universe. This is X-Men from a universe that you haven't seen yet, and everything has been combined. And now you've got like new X-Men. So like that's how that's going to work, I think, is you've got she basically pulled him from another reality, but merged the different aspects of the character to make a brand new one.
Well, to fit it to her liking is what it is, because that's what she's done with Vision that we learn in this episode. Vision, went out on his own to try and figure knows things are not right. And the further out in town he gets, notices.
I just realized I have the wrong.
Oh shit.
Anyway, continue. I'm gonna fix it.
Anyway, the farther out he gets in town, less active residents are.
Oh yeah, they're just standing around still, perfectly frozen.
Like, yeah, they're either repeating action over and over. and we saw, the lady with a tear in her eye who kept, kept the decorations over and over out there. Further, they're just still they're there. I think those people are dead.
Oh no, the lady was crying. She's very
I
much
think
alive.
she's almost dead. That's why she's. I think further
Uh,
out, they're dead.
you think these people are out there like starving to death?
Yeah,
Crap. Oh my god.
yeah,
How creepy as hell. Um,
right. But anyway, so he talks to Agnes because Agnes is in her car, and I think Agnes's subconscious was like, "You might as well just be here," because they're all those people
she's
so
trying to leave, but she
miserable.
can't.
Yeah,
Um,
and so Vision does to her what he did to the guy in the office. Touches her head and like unfreezes her per se.
she recognizes him.
And
Everybody knows who the Avengers are.
right, but he didn't.
Yeah, didn't have that memory.
Wanda erased all that from him. That try and control him when he animated his dead body.
Yeah.
Scary. That's real scary. Like I knew that, but this furthered that. Like she's very emotionally wrought.
There are theories running. Yeah, you just Google WandaVision. You'll see some, like, Google WandaVision theories, and it's like, but probably the most prevailing theory about this show is a lot of people are thinking that Mephisto is behind everything. That he preyed upon Wanda's grief, and basically, Mephisto is to Marvel Universe like basically the devil.
Okay.
And so, like, there was a time he can alter reality, and there was actually a story in Spider-Man where Spider-Man's Aunt May got uh, mortally wounded and was getting ready to die, and Peter wanted to save her. Well, Mephisto pops up and like, I can save her. But the deal was his and Mary Jane's marriage going to be completely erased from history as payment for bringing Aunt May back. And so Mary Jane made the deal for him. He didn't want to do it. Yeah. And they erased their marriage and like completely altered history, reality, and nobody remembered it. And there was even a point a couple of years before where Peter had taken his mask off and revealed himself to the world, and as part of the Civil War storyline, as a show of good faith, and that was erased. Like nobody, once again, nobody knew who Spider-Man was. And so the fact that at the spoiler alert for Spider-Man Far From Home, at the end they reveal Peter to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And that's just another building block as to why people think that Mephisto might be behind this. That sometime over the next,
and that would also explain why when Quicksilver was talking to, I really don't know how I did this.
Yes.
Is even don't understand why.
She doesn't know how she did it, but she can continue doing it.
Yeah, she can continue doing it. But that also brings the question: did you, or somebody telling her? That's very, because even though she was like, I don't know how I did it, surely did it.
Yeah.
Like, she showed us in this episode.
At the very end.
Basically, like, and to protect, because, like, told her, the kids.
Yeah.
Because Vision made it out, and then, like, he had the mellow one.
Interestingly enough, her kids are basically kid versions of her and Quicksilver.
Which
they have the powers. Sense. Yeah.
That's usually how twins work, really.
But
like
they ends up expanding this out because Vision escapes He starts breaking apart, which immediately shows us that he can't survive outside of this. Which also tells me that he's probably die again.
I know.
But
well, I mean, I guess technically he just did. Maybe I don't know if she expanded it quick enough.
I think she did.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay, I saw that.
My thing is at the very, very, very tail end of this, it's expanding out. They're driving away from it and everything. Darcy, she gets enveloped in it. It doesn't look like Monica and Agent Wu got.
No, they did.
Yeah, they escaped it. So did the
bad guy.
Yeah, so did the asshole. And so, but pretty much everybody else got enveloped in it. But
they turned. Okay.
Now I'm see that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that once her eyes quit glowing, it stopped. Because when I saw this going on, I was like, oh my God, this right here where it just completely envelops the entire Earth. And she's just going to do it planet-wide. She just
stopped until it covered them.
But it's coming because they established in this episode that she can expand it. And that was just knowing that Vision's in danger. Let's expand it, bring him in.
Yep.
What's going to happen?
Basically all she was doing. She one day bring him in.
Yep.
She didn't give a shit about them other people.
No. And Vision... And in my opinion, like this still holds true that what I think is going to happen. He's going to end up dying, and she's just going to completely lose it, and the entire world is going to get covered up in this. And that's probably how the show's going to end.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to wait about a year until the
I don't want to wait.
Multiverse of Madness. Because I'll go ahead and tell you that Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to take place probably in like the week before this happened. They've already announced that Black Widow, aside from some of her origin, is going to take place Civil War and beginning of Infinity War.
Okay.
So the Eternals is going to be basically space based. So if it does do that to Earth, it's not going to affect them. And then after that, your next show is going to be Loki. Takes place in a completely alternate reality caused by when Loki took the Tesseract during Endgame and scuttled off. And then we're going to have Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. So we're not going to get a continuation of this for another fucking year. So just go ahead and get ready because everything they might have some post-credit scenes or something in the meantime. But no, we're gonna have to wait here. And that's if we have no more COVID related delays. So let's just hope and pray.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, it is like this was a great episode. I love the 90s costumes. I'm not
gonna lie. It first started and it had I love Malcolm. That vibe with their vibe in that. Well, I wasn't big on it. Like because I am a big sucker for 90s nostalgia.
Yeah.
But like they really overdid it.
They meant to. It was over the top.
Yeah, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. But once you got past that part into like storyline, got a hell of a lot.
Oh man, like I
really thought this was a Joker episode, and then it turned out to be not.
Was probably this episode probably, like I was saying earlier, it worked up my anxiety more than any episode before has because you could tell early on it was starting to build and build, and you knew something was coming, and I don't know,
it was definitely a more emotional, even compared to like when they flash back to when everybody comes back. Like it's right under that. As far as like emotionally.
Right before this last episode aired, one that had the Quicksilver reveal, Elizabeth Olsen came out just a day or two before, before the show was over, that they were going to have an appearance by a character that was on par with the Luke Skywalker cameo at the end of the Mandalorian. Do you think Quicksilver was it, or do you think they'll have it to go?
I mean, Quicksilver could be it, but it wouldn't surprise me. Better surprise us. This show has surprising, honestly. Um, I knew it was gonna be good. I didn't expect it to be this good. I really
Oh
didn't.
yeah, yeah,
Like I was interested and all that, but I did not expect it.
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I expected good things. Right,
Yeah,
there was really nothing that could be said, done, or said. Go and
without spoiling it. That's
and
what it is. That's what's made it so good. They couldn't really give details without spoiling it, and it's turned out to be great. Like, this
the
is one of my favorite shows.
one of the main fan theories with the Mephisto thing was they were thinking that either he was controlling Agnes or Agnes is Mephisto in disguise. But because of the interaction between her and Vision,
That's not a
I
thing.
no
Yeah.
longer subscribe to that theory. Um, plus she's just playing the part. You never know. Mephisto's all powerful. He wouldn't be able to be mind zapped by Vision. He
Right.
could just be playing along.
No,
Um,
I don't think I
or maybe goofy asshole sword director. Wouldn't that be weird if he ended up being
because
Mephisto the whole time?
he had all that information and held it from everyone.
Mm.
Everyone. Not just them. The entire group of people.
Oh, they never did
So,
really reveal what the big secret was, did they?
well, that he was tracking Vision,
Well, yeah.
and but that's a huge secret, though. He knew a head count of how many people were affected. He
Yeah.
knew who was moving around where, who was still. He knew pretty much knew everything we learned in this episode, and didn't tell a single person. And so it wouldn't surprise me. He's a bad guy anyway. Regardless if he's the main bad guy in disguise, he's a bad guy anyway.
Yeah. You know what the big problem is? We're 2/3 of the way
It's a
done with
huge
this
problem
series.
for me.
It is. It is for me. I'm like, I just, probably. At this point, though, I could just about skip the first.
Probably.
They were the first
They
two
were
episodes.
nice introductions, but like to
Yeah,
get to like the good stuff, I would say. Or episode
yeah.
3.
Just start with 3 and just blast through them sitting. Because oh yeah, the '90s commercial, the little claymation yogurt commercial, the
Yes, and
shark.
that was foreshadowing because he could not get it open and he died. And they literally said, for good for surviving people.
Ah,
That is foreshadowing. Those people that were they were dead.
God.
They were dead. Those that were moving the same motion slowly, they were on their way to being dead.
So aside from some reality altering thing that erases everybody's memories of this event ever happening, Wanda at this point, there's no going back to being a good guy. At this point, she's already screwed up and destroyed too
As,
much and killed too many.
as she's a liability. Not necessary. Liability.
We are at that point where,
She's very.
yeah, and we are at that point. I was telling you, I think either last week or last, that point in House of M where Xavier and Magneto were contemplating killing her because there was
I
no other
know.
way. we are at that point with
I know,
her.
and I feel so bad. I really, and
Like, she had nothing but a shitty life.
yeah,
Spent a couple of years with the
yes.
Avengers, and then,
And then it all went to shit again. Like
yep.
she just didn't get a break, and like, God, that's so freaking relatable. Like, and I do feel terrible for her.
And I bet she feels very offended. Thought he was brought back, but they never thought to bring part of that. I mean, I would, because it wasn't like Vision sacrificed himself to get the Soul Stone, or he didn't. None of that. He could have very easily been thought about during the snap and brought back. But
True.
I don't know.
I don't know. I first remember what did they do back where they were?
Captain America
I forgot.
took them
It's been a
back to
while.
Steve Rogers back in time and placed each of the stones exactly where they got them. But the thing is, Thanos physically pulled the Mind Stone from
Out of
Vision's
Vision's
head.
Yeah.
So what did Steve do with the Mind Stone when he got done?
Right. That's what I'm wondering.
And we know now that Vision's dead body laid in that laboratory for 5 years. Apparently, because it's weird how to her it's only been a week.
Yeah, excuse me.
But Vision's body had been hidden in this laboratory somewhere ever since that happened 5 years earlier. And it's hard because of how everything's paced and everything. It's hard to comprehend the timelines and what it is to everybody, because I keep forgetting, Wanda wasn't around from the end of Infinity War, the end of Endgame.
Yep.
And I mean, but it was interesting because I don't know, there's something about how Endgame was filmed. Like, showed up like it wasn't nothing. I mean, she did show up. She was pissed off at Thanos because he killed Vision and all that. And, she fought him. The old Thanos was like, or the 2014 Thanos, I don't even know who you are, because he didn't.
Right.
He had no clue who she was at that point, because it was his future self 5 years ago. Well, we're starting to get into time travel talk. But you know what I mean. He didn't technically kill Vision, but he really had no clue who she was. And I think that bothered her even more. She didn't get revenge, because technically when she fought Thanos, it wasn't the Thanos that killed Vision. He was already dead. Revenge had been dished out, well before she came back.
And she didn't get to settle that for herself.
No, and it's just so many open ends that she just everything. Like, she had her brother was her parents were taken from her. Her brother was taken from her. Her partner Vision was taken. Her revenge was taken from. Like,
everything has been taken from Wanda.
Yes, and
literally,
it's just.
And it's if going good.
Well, the more we talk about it, the more I want her to have a happy ending.
Oh, I wish she could.
I don't
but we
see.
know it's not going to. Not, and it's such a sad story. Such a sad story.
The only thing I can think how this could possibly end happily for her, and there's a lot of people now saying that Mephisto can't be the villain because Marvel has such a huge market in China, and China would not show the films dealing with Mephisto because of the religious subtext. But the only way I could think that she'd have a happy ending, somebody figures out, probably Doctor Strange, because they've already confirmed that she's going to appear in Doctor Strange, which is kind of a spoiler that I probably didn't need, because you don't know if she's going to survive to the end of this or not.
Right.
But now we do, I guess. But
at this point, though, it's a multiverse thing.
It might not be the same
It might not be
Wanda.
the same Wanda.
But yeah, you've got, probably the only way I see her having a happy ending is if Mephisto shows up, somebody figures out a way to outsmart Mephisto. It happened in the comic books. It'll have to happen in this. And somehow or the other, they get everything reversed, or we just end up with a brand new reality. And in this reality, Wanda didn't do this, and back and healthy and, have all this mental anguish that caused all this. And it's almost seriously at the end of this multiverse saga or whatever they're going to do with it. Somebody's just going to have to basically hit a reset button.
Again.
We're gonna start from scratch.
Basically.
Well, no.
I mean, they had to hit a reset button for the Stones. That's what they did. Reset button.
No, not necessarily. They just brought everybody back.
They hit the reset.
Now, hitting the reset button would have made it to where it never happened. But people are going to be dealing with the results of the people being gone for 5 years, snap, for probably the next decade in the movies, and I don't know.
I still feel like that.
But anyway, this has been Lonnie's Fan Theories. I could sit around and talk WandaVision fan theories for 2 days. But anyway, that's it. We got a lot of stuff to do today. Yeah.
Waiting on you.
This episode's an 11. Without even thinking.
It's like an 11.
I think this is like the third episode in a row.
It's been an 11, but it's been that good.
It has been. This is
that good.
I've seen Daredevil. I'm not completely caught up on the MCU. I've seen all the movies. I've seen all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The only things that I haven't seen is Agent Carter. I've not watched Agent Carter. And I watched first 2 seasons of Daredevil and like the first 3 episodes of Jessica Jones. And I've not seen any of the other Netflix stuff. I haven't seen Punisher, The Defenders. I haven't seen Cage, anything like that. And, well, I think you could probably skip it at this point. We're almost acting like stuff didn't happen. Especially so since none of them appeared at the end of Endgame.
Right.
But, you've got all that stuff. And everything that I've seen, this show is the best MCU television I've ever seen. Without there's no contest. This is better than anything Daredevil did. Now, I like Daredevil. That was a good show. But this show, movie quality.
That's it. Right there.
It's just like Disney Plus doesn't do anything half-assed. Mandalorian is Star Wars movie quality. This, MCU. And I look forward to this. This is so good. And I'm happy that we're only going to have like a 1-week break between the end of WandaVision and the beginning of Falcon and Winter. It's going to be fun. I cannot wait. It's kind of funny because Falcon and Winter Soldier was originally supposed to air before WandaVision. And everything was delayed due to COVID.
Alright, that's right.
Yep. So you gave it an 11 as well. Awesome.
Said that.
Alright, well, we got a busy day ahead. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. If you're watching it today on Saturday, we are going to be on later tonight. Probably in the neighborhood of, 8, 9 o'clock. For some Super Mario 3D World for the first time. And we've busy. Got all kinds of stuff. I'm Lonnie. And we are Untitled Nerd Network. We'll see y'all next week. Next episode. God only knows what's going to happen. Till then.